Hi everybody, it's Nikki here, and say with me, it's Bookgammon time! Yes, it is that time of the month where I play my TBR game Bookgammon, which is based on the board game Backgammon, to help me pick my upcoming month's TBR. Today we are going to be playing for April. I nearly said January. It's not. We're not going backwards, Nicola. We're playing for April, so let me put her down, because you know she gets noisy. Okay, so let's start off with some housekeeping. The first is, of course, priority picks, and those are any books that were on the current month's TBR that I haven't got to. Well, about halfway through the month of March, I honestly thought I was going to have all of March's TBR as priority picks for April because I hadn't managed to finish a single book. But then I made a bit of an executive decision, and suddenly my reading mojo came back after that. So I'm very happy to say that I have no books left on my March TBR to read, so we have no priority picks, which is great. So on to the next bit of housekeeping, which is, of course, my Starbook and my Bomb Book tokens. So for the Bomb Book this month, I am picking my books from my 12 books will destruct in 12 months video, and this time I'm picking Marie Lou's Legend. This is not a book that I'm not interested in. I do think I'm going to enjoy it when I do actually pick it up. The problem why it's on the self-destruct list is because I've had this on my shelves for so long, and yet I still bypass it for all the readathons that I've ever taken part in, for all of the TBRs that I've created. This always gets bypassed, and I'm sure that it could have fulfilled many a prompt. So yeah, it's just because I bypass it every time on my shelves. I don't know why. So this is my Bomb Book for April. My Starbook, however, I don't care how many times I have to put this on as my Starbook until I win my Starbook and I get to read this goddamn book. I'm going to continue to keep putting it on. So I know I'm repetitive, but I don't care. I want to read this book so badly. I almost picked this up in March when, as I say, halfway through the month, I was like, I'm not finishing anything. And I almost picked this up. I even had a bookmark in it and everything ready to go, but then I was like, no, I really need to get... So this is my Starbook. Again, The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. You know what this is about now. I've spoken about it loads and loads of times. We have a princess who's supposed to have a power which she doesn't have. She's supposed to get married, but she runs away from the altar, tries to live a normal life, and then two guys appear. She doesn't know it, but one is an assassin sent to kill her, and one is the prince she was meant to marry. So yes, I'm so excited for this. Please pick. Please pick. So that is my housekeeping done. So let's get to roleplay. Roleplay? No, gameplay. Okay. Let's get to gameplay and see what Bookgammon has in store for me. And for you, if you want to play along as well, as I know some of you do love to do that. So let's see what she has in store for us this month. Okay, so we have our board ready for April's Bookgammon TBR. So let's give our prompt cards a shuffle. And we'll put them here. Actually, I'll put them there so I don't catch them as I'm moving. And then for our Starbook and our Bomb Book token, let's place the Starbook first. So between 0 and 24, we're placing the Starbook on number 11. So that is on this space here. And for the Bomb Book, we're placing it on number 8. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're in the same area. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay, so first roll is a 3 and a 1, so that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're looking at the blue prompt. Okay, and the prompt is a Fairy Loot sequel. So of course I no longer subscribe to Fairy Loot, but we got a lot of first books in Fairy Loot, and I have gone on to purchase the sequels to many of those books but never actually gone on to read them. So this is my chance to read one of those sequels. For roll number 2, we're going to get the bomb or the star book. Let's have a roll and find out. A 6 and a 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 1. We landed on the star book. Yes. So we won the star book this month. No heads or tails for me this month. Whoop whoop. What are you picking for your star book? Let me know in the comment section below. Okay, so we've moved the bomb token, so now it's just normal gameplay. A 2 and a 3, so that's 5. 1, 4, 5. So we have the red prompt. Uh-oh, the prompt is my biggest book. Okay, a big book basically, so it has to be over 500 pages. I would say probably over 600 to be honest. There's a lot of fantasy at the moment are like 450, 480 kind of thing. So I think over 600 is a big book. So over 600 pages. But if a 500 page book is a big book to you, then of course you can pick one of those. So for roll number 4, a 1 and a 2, so that's 3. 1, 2, 3, so we get the yellow prompt, and the prompt is next in series, so we're getting a couple of sequels read this month. Could this be the 5th and final roll? It's 3 and a 4, which is 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're home. So that is it for another month of Bookgammon. How did you do? Let me know in the comment section below what books you'll be picking for these prompts, and let's go to which books I'm going to be choosing for the month. So that is it for another month of Bookgammon. Let's go back and see what books I've chosen. Oh my god! I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Yes! I landed on the star book. I landed on the star book. Whoop whoop. Guess which book I'm going to be starting my TBR with this month. So that was gameplay. So let me start with, for roll number 1, we got a blue prompt. And for that, the prompt was Fairy Loot sequel. So as you know, I've been doing a buddy read with my good friend Charlotte with the Defy the Night trilogy by Bridget Kemmerer. Now, my original, my copy of Defy the Night was sent to me via Fairy Loot when I used to subscribe to that bookbox collection, subscription thing. I used to get Fairy Loot. I don't anymore. And when Destroy the Day came out, both Charlotte and I said, hey, look what I got. And we were both like, okay, we really need to read this series now, because we originally buddy read Defy the Night last year, I want to say, or year before, but we never ended up continuing on with the duology, with the sequels. So this time we are reading, and I am on to Destroy the Day, which is the 3rd and final book. So I will be picking this up for the month of April. I will of course be buddy reading it with Charlotte as well, so this is also my buddy read for the month as well. Defy the Night is about Wes and Tessa, who are basically rebels in the night who are distributing a much needed medicine to the poor people of Kandala, and the elite seem to have plentiful of the Moonflower elixir, but the poor are really struggling to purchase it because of its high prices. And political intrigue, twists and turns, hidden identities, all of that is in here. Book 2 introduced some new characters, which I really enjoyed, and I cannot wait to get on to book 3, because book 2 was left on quite a cliffhanger, and I really want to know what happens next. The one thing I will say is Bridget Kemmerer, no, I won't say that. So I'm very excited for this book. Our second roll, we got the Starbuck. Whoop whoop. She's so floppy. Okay, so yes, I am going to be reading The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson because I landed on the star token. So yay, I'm so excited. What Starbuck did you pick for this month? I'm very excited to know. On our third roll, we got a red prompt, and for that it was biggest book. Now, I said in the gameplay that normally I would consider a big book anything over 500 pages, but recently I've been reading a lot of fantasy books that have been like 450, 484 kind of pages, so they're very close to 500 anyway. So for me, I wanted to pick a much bigger book. So for me personally, I wanted to choose a book that was over 600 pages. You don't have to. If a big book for you is over 400 pages, pick a 400-page book. If a big book for you is 500 pages, pick a 500-page book. It's a big book for you if you want to join in with this. I am going to try to finish A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. I did start it, so can you consider this cheating? Possibly. I'm about halfway. Okay, so I'm on chapter 54, page 464 out of 846. So I am literally halfway through this, but you'll understand why I picked this book and not another book that I might have to start from scratch in a moment. So yes, I want to finish this. This was a buddy read with some of my bookish friends back in February, and I didn't get to finish it, so I do want to finish it in April. So that is that one. And then last but not least, roll number 4, we got Yellow. And the prompt for that was next in series. And I thought with all of this fantasy going on, I'm going to want some contemporary. So I'm going to be reading book 3 in the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. And that is The Score. And in this one, I believe we're following the best friend of the girl that we met in the first book, The Deal. Which I really enjoyed, The Deal. So yeah, I don't know if I can go into what's happening in this one, whether it's spoilers for the other 2 books, but basically hockey players, ice hockey players, I think they're ice hockey, or are they just normal hockey? I don't know. But yeah, hockey players and girls, basically. So that is my TBR for Bookgammon. I have A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon, The Score by Elle Kennedy, Destroy the Day by Bridget Kemmerer, and Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. So that is that. However, that is not all that. That is not all that at all. So, Every year I take part in the magical readathon hosted by G from Bookgammon channel. I will leave a link for you in the description box below this video, so please do check that out before you leave if you are interested. And she has created this magical Orilium Academy that you have to fulfill prompts to take part in the classes to earn your career. She explains it in a whole much better way than I do, with costumes and magical elements in her videos and everything. Please go check it out just for the enjoyment of the video alone, because it is phenomenal, the work she puts into it. And I know that her boyfriend and another friend help her with some of the images and things like that, the artwork and stuff. It's phenomenal. So I'm back for a third year to do the magical Orilium Academy, and I am continuing with my career of Master of Elements, or Mistress of Elements as I like to say. So what classes am I going to be taking this year? Well, let me tell you. So my first class is Elemental Studies, and we are studying Call Lightning. So the prompt is a source of light on the cover. So I am going to be reading The Hunting Moon by Susan Dennard, which is book 2 to the Luminaries, and we have the word moon in the title. We have a moon on the cover, and we have foiling, which if it catches the light, it's a source of light. So I hit it 3 ways there. So the Hunting Moon, I cannot wait to get to this, honestly. The Luminaries was really good. We have a community, a cut-off kind of community, secluded community, where each family is named after a day of the week. So you've got the Fridays, the Wednesdays, the Thursdays, the Saturdays, and all that sort of thing. And each family is responsible for a certain thing within the community. And Winnie Wednesday, her family have been kind of ostracized since her father was excommunicated, kind of like pushed out and exiled, because he was found to be consorting with witches, which is a big no-no in this community. They're trying to keep the strange creatures from coming out of the woods, so they're trying to protect the place and stuff. And in our first book, The Luminaries, Winnie Wednesday is actually trying to take part in some trials to become a hunter, to be the one to go into the woods to hunt these creatures. And she is mistakenly thought to have killed one of the hardest creatures to kill. And so she's left with the conundrum of, does she admit the truth and say that no, she didn't kill it, she found it dead, or does she just roll with it and be welcomed back into the community? So it was a great first book, and I cannot wait to get to the sequel. My next class is for shapeshifting, and we are studying the Mimics. So read from an author who blurbed your last 5 stars. Now, I don't remember how I came across this book, this author. I think the author had possibly left a comment or a blurb about the deal, and that's Alice Clayton, and so I'm going to be reading Wallbanger. Like this. I mean, do I need to explain? Okay, so Wallbanger. The first night after Caroline moves into her fantastic new San Francisco apartment, she realizes she's gaining an intimate knowledge of her neighbor's nocturnal adventures. Thanks to paper-thin walls and the guy's athletic prowess, she can hear not just his bed banging against the wall, but the ecstatic response of what seems, as loud night after loud night goes by, like an endless parade of women. Yeah, so I'm going to be reading that one for shapeshifting. So next on the list is animal studies, and I'm going to be studying the pebble ducks. Cute. So for this is a yellow title. Now, remember this book? I figured, you know what, I want some crossover books because otherwise my TBR is going to be huge. This year I'm trying to take it a little bit easier on myself. So I'm going to be reading Destroy the Day by Bridget Kemmerer for this prompt. My next class is for zodiac recommendation. Sorry, it's for astronomy, and we're studying the constellations, and the prompt is zodiac recommendation. Now, I watched quite a few videos of people recommending books for your zodiac star sign, and for Scorpio, which I am, they were mainly giving me thrillers, and I really don't fancy reading a thriller right now. I'm just not in the mood. I have to be in the mood for a thriller. There was one book that I was interested in, but I don't own it, and I would either, and it's a fairly brand new one, so I'm fairly certain it's not at my library, and I'm fairly certain that, well, I did have a look and I couldn't find the audiobook for it, so anyway, doesn't matter. What I decided in the end was, I'm a Scorpio, so what book would I recommend for myself to read based on my Scorpio traits? So I figured if it's got skulls and roses, it's a Scorpio kind of book. The Scarlet Veil has skulls on the sprayed edges. This is a Waterstone special edition. You've got skulls and roses there. So this is kind of a spin-off series from the Serpent and Dove series that Shelby Mahurin did. I read the Serpent and Dove series through the Fairy Loot special editions, and I really enjoyed it. So I thought when this came out that I would see what the spin-off series was all about. So yeah, can I really tell you what this is about? I think I can tell you the characters that we're going to be following. So it says, so we have Celie and Jean-Luc. We're following those two characters from the Serpent and Dove series. And it says, darkness is coming for us, Celie. It's coming for you too. So, yeah. Someone or something is coming for Celie, and the closer he gets, the more tempted Celie feels to give in to his dark hungers and her own. So yes, very excited for this. So I will be reading this, and this, I could have used this for Big Book in my Bookgammon TBR because this is 622 pages, but I decided that I really do need to finish A Day of Fallen Night, so I picked that for that prompt, and I picked this one for this prompt. We're getting precarious now. For the next class I need to take is Conjuration, and for that I'm learning about the Blinding Prism. So I had to spin a colour wheel, and I tried to screenshot it, but I don't know, it didn't work. So trust me when I say I got purple. So I picked this book. This is The Smoke Thieves by Sally Green. This is a beautiful cover, and we have beautiful purple sprayed edges there. So this one says, in Brigand, Princess Catherine prepares to marry a man she's never met, while her true love Ambrose faces the executioner's block. In Calidor, downtrodden servant March seeks revenge on the prince who betrayed his people. In Pretoria, Edion stands at a crossroads, family and fortune one way, destruction the other. And in the barren northern territories, Tash is facing her demons, literally. As the kingdom's alliances shift and shatter, these 5 young people find their futures inextricably linked by a mysterious bottle of demon smoke and by the unpredictable tides of war. Who will rise, who will fall, and who will unlock the secrets of the smoke? So yes, very excited for this one, and she's a floppy, so very excited to move on to that one. And then my last and final class for becoming a Mistress of Elements is Restoration, Regaining Consciousness. So pick a book that you think could cure a slump. And for me, that's got to be some bit of smut. I'm sorry, but sexy time, that's me. Get it on. Here we go. So I'm going to be reading Court of the Vampire Queen by Katie Roberts. I believe this is all 3 books in this series. I think they were obviously probably at one time a Kindle Unlimited sort of book. And it's obviously now being published. But yes, a bit of smut, always gets me reading again. So it says 3 powerfully alluring vampire men and 1 queen to rule them all. So all Mina ever wanted was to escape her father's control, half human, half vampire. She lived eternally torn between 2 worlds, never fully experiencing the pleasures of either, until her father chose her as a pawn in his latest political move, gifting her to the darkly powerful and dangerous seductive Malachi Zion. I do believe it's a kind of why choose romance. So, not gonna lie, but I've been really getting into those recently, so very excited for this one. So that is it. That is my class thing for, oh, let's get you sorted, for, those are my classes that I'm going to be taking for the magical readathon. So my TBR for that is, see if I can balance this precariously now, A Court of the Vampire Queen by Katie Roberts, The Smoke Thieves by Sally Green, Destroy the Day by Bridget Kemmerer, The Scarlet Veil by Shelby Mahurin, Warbanger by, I'll put it up on the screen, and The Hunting Moon by Susan Dennard. I'm going to put it down because she's going to break me hand. So that is my TBR for the month of April. Please, please pray for me because I have about 9 books here that I need to read for April. Help. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's going to be fine. I will say that I am going to be prioritizing the Magical Readathon TBR the most. Although my Bookgammon TBR has some of my most excited for books. So yeah, but I am going to be prioritizing the Magical Readathon books because I do want to get those completed for the Magical Readathon. So although I know she allows us, G, not she, she's not the cat's mother, G does allow us to take a little bit longer if we need to complete our classes if we need to. But I'm waffling now. I'm just waffling to myself now. So I'm going to go. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.